if I had the chance to do it all over again, would I change some things about my life? Would I change some paths about my life? And I think in times past, in answering that question, I would say yes. There are some things that I would have changed about my life. But then again, I'm pondering that thought. And not for any type of glorification or to make someone believe that a life of crime is profitable, that it's the right thing to do, because it's not. Because whatever we do, we have to pay the consequences of our actions. And I have most definitely paid the consequences of my actions in serving a 22.3-year federal prison sentence. If I had it all to do over again, would I change something? And so I want to ponder that. Could I have changed the atmosphere in which I grew up in as an infant, as a baby, as an adolescent, as a teen? No. And so I grew up, as a baby, suck on their bottle and eat their baby food. I grew up sucking off the breasts of a mother that lived in an environment where the drug of choice was heroin. So I seen that process as a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11-year-old child. So when most children was playing with their big wheels and their Hot Wheels and their crazy cars and all those things, unbeknownst to me, I was studying my future and looking at the actions of my parents. And so the journey has been long. Going through that stuff and then going through homelessness and then finally, getting in the drug game and then, those things that was impregnated in my mind since I was a child had came to birth. And all of those things that I had learned, it had kicked in on me, unbeknownst. And so I think about, and fortunately, very, very fortunately for me and my crew, like, none of us got killed. Some of us did some small prison sentences, but everybody that was working under Rush Mob, under Rush, none of us got killed. And none of the people that worked for me had to go up the road to do lengthy prison sentences. And I never had to kill anyone. And so those things I think about because, while I can't go through the years and years and years and years that it took me to get to be a prisoner in the federal penitentiary. It took me from the age of when I could realize what was going on, from 5 to 30. It took me all of that time to make my way to the federal system. Sentenced with a 35-year sentence. And it was hard. And it was rough. And it was dark. And it was painful. And I tell you, there's still some things that I've seen in the federal penitentiary that I have not built myself up to discuss it yet. And this is why I tell our young people that the prison system is not a place to be for our young people. It is not a resort. The feds is not a resort like we heard it was. Man, prison, long-term prison sentence is hell. And I don't care what nobody say about it. I don't care who make us think that every day was lovely and made you think that you could do it and make you think that you could survive it because you could get violent like everybody else. Man, prison is much, 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 much more than that. Especially in the federal system. Because the federal system is more mental. So I never been to the state joint, to the state penitentiary. But the most things that I hear about the state penitentiary is violent and it's physical. You know what I mean? But when you come off in that federal joint, man, is a scientific mental strategy that they use to break us down. So it's mental. And I think it's easier to get over a physical situation than it would be to get over a mental situation. So I'm saying this with very, very emotional. Like, prison for a long time is really, really dark. It's sad. It's punishment. It's hell. And then I asked myself, if I had to do it all over again, would I change anything? And so first of all, I'll say, a lot of that stuff that I could not change. I could not change the fact that I grew up seeing what I saw. From 5 to 12. I can't deny that. I can't deny that when I seen my mother and my stepfather selling drugs, using drugs, brandishing guns, SWAT kicking in the house, traffic in and out, robberies and shootings and murders and all of that stuff, when I tell you that's the stuff I seen growing up as a child. And those things I couldn't change in my life. And so you ask, would I change my life? If I had the opportunity, would I change my life? And I would say, no, I wouldn't. And like I say, not for a glorification, because I say that I wouldn't change it. Because if I had to go through everything that I went through to be the person that I am today, operating off God's will, doing his work, saving his people, being favored by him, and every now and then people would tell me, man, it's something about you. Some people say, man, it's the swag. Some people say it's the way I talk. Some people say it's the glow. But I know it's the God that shines in me, who I'm obedient to. And so when I think about where I am in life right now, with the lives that God is using me to save for his glorification daily, I don't know if I would have got to that point selling and using drugs to this point, and most likely not. And since I don't know if I would have eventually found God in selling drugs and selling poison to my people, then I would say that I thank God for giving me another opportunity to come out and be a free man with free man thinking. I'll tell you what I would not want. Man, that devil mind, that drug mindset, that poison selling mindset, that manipulation mindset, that street mindset. I give that back to the sender, because the mind that I have now is the mind of Christ and the mind of God. So would I change anything? Well, if I had the opportunity to change things in a time where I did not have the opportunity, the wherewithal, or the common sense to change some things that happened to me when I was from 1 to 12. But I'll just emphatically say in closing, whatever it took me to get to this point in life where my leader is God, whatever it took me to get to this point in life, that when sometime you hear your brother speak, you hear God. I'm happy that I got in this point in my life that most of the time you see your brother, you see God. And I'm happy and I'm humble that in this time in my life that God has given me the words of healing in my mouth, where I'm supposed to be able to reach people who a lot of people can't reach. And I would not trade nothing in the world that God give me for his glory and his grace. So would I change anything in my past? I would only have changed it if I could have been here and been the person that I am today.